Hello and welcome to the channel. In tonight's episode, I am in the garden. Oh, that looks like a wasp. Spring is here, y'all. I'm looking at a red wasp who is flying around looking for a place to live. I don't mind wasps in the garden. I just knocked down a wasp nest right up in the eaves of my house. I'll show y'all in a bit. But I'm outside and I am going to sow some flower seeds. Probably not going to get to all of these today, but I'm going to sow some seeds because I want flowers in the garden. So if you'd like to go out with me, sow some seeds, and see how much we can do today, stay tuned. Before I get off into the garden and sow some seeds, I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot of liquid feed. I was going to say watering, but I actually need to just give a liquid feed. I don't believe I'll have time today because I think the sun goes down and it's pitch black dark at like 6:30. This weekend is daylight savings time. I want to say Sunday. So we will end up having longer days. So as of next week, I'll have longer days to be able to come out and take care of the things that I need to take care of. But today, I talked to you all in my live yesterday, and I want to plant some Mexican sunflowers in the back toilet planters. I want to take some clover. I have here some red clover and some crimson clover, and I want to get this in the orchard area in my pots. Now I won't be able to put it in all of the pots because I have about, I want to say, 2 pots that it doesn't have trees in them, and I do want to put some trees in those pots. I will be taking that Chicago Hardy fig and taking it off the tree and then putting it in one of these pots. I'll probably put it maybe in the center over there by the plum. And I want to grow more calendula because I do want to harvest my calendula. I made oil last year with the little bit that I was able to harvest. I ended up having more seeds, so I'm grateful for that. So I want to put some calendula in the garden because I want that for my apothecary. And there are several other things here. I think I want to put some 4 o'clocks in the garden. This was one of my grandmother's favorite flowers. I know this can get pretty big, so I'm trying to figure out where exactly I'd want to put this. I don't know. I have to think about this one and just a few others. I've got some sunflowers that I want to also put in the garden. I would love to put this in the ground. I want to say this is a lemon queen. I don't know if this is a mammoth one. I don't have on my reading glasses, so I can't tell you how tall it's going to get. No, this one is the mammoth one. So this one will get tall. So I do want to see if these seeds are even viable. So I'm going to put these somewhere. I don't know. But I do want to have sunflowers in the garden. I had one sunflower last year in the cut flower garden, and it didn't get very tall. It was beautiful, but not very tall. So let's stop jibber jabbering. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot. Sweet peas. I potted up some clematis in a huge pot a couple of days ago, maybe earlier in the week, maybe last weekend. I'm losing track of days. I don't know. But I want to put some sweet peas in that container, and I have a few left over. These are a highly scented, it doesn't say what the variety, it just says high scented. They are a beautiful white with a little bit of purple around the edge of the petal. I also have a Burpee Galaxy mixed color sweet pea. It has more purples in it. And I've already put some of these in my hanging baskets, but I will need to put some in the hanging baskets in the cut flower garden because I didn't put any in the cut flower garden, only in the memorial garden. And I want those sweet peas to trail down versus being trellised up. So we'll see. We'll see what I get. So now that I've jibber jabbered, let's go in the garden. The sun is going down. It's right over there. So I'm in a precarious location. So it looks a little cloudy. I do apologize. The camera is not dirty, you guys. So excuse me. I thought I told you I would show you that wasp nest. So let me show you the wasp nest before I get started. You guys can see it. I broke a piece of it off as I was trying to knock it down from the house. And so I need to throw it in the trash, but I left it right there for right now. Over here in the orchard area, and do you all hear those beautiful birds? It just sounds so lovely out here. I don't really want to work. I just want to sit and listen to the birds, but I've got to get some work done. So I'm going to put some clover in these containers over here. I don't know about the Barbados cherry container, so I will end up disrupting if I have to pull that out. So I'm going to play it by ear, but I know I'm going to put some in the peach pot. So this is the peach pot, and I excuse me, I can't be outside for more than 5 seconds without the insects. As much as I love spring, I don't care for the insects at all. So in this container, I am going to put some crimson clover. Now I will be trimming this tree. I have a branch that is kind of poking out into the walkway over here, and I'll be cutting it back and getting it sent out, but I haven't done it yet. I may do it tomorrow and get it in the mail. We'll see. We shall see. So I have a little tool that I went and picked up from out of a shed, and on the top, and it's these sticks, the limbs are poking me in the face, so you all have to excuse me. On the top here, this is fertilizer that did not break down. It just kind of sat here on the top. So I'm just going to break it up. This was at Dr. Earth's fertilizer that I picked up. They had it at Costco, a huge container, a big bag of it at Costco. My mom picked it up for me. So, let's see. I have to squish this one by hand because my tool is too big for the space. And what I'm going to do, I'm just breaking it up. I am going to turn it over on into the soil. Let me move this out of the way. It doesn't appear that there's any over here. So I'm just going to, I've got something growing in this pot that I don't know what it is. It is definitely not a plum. I don't know what that is. I have no idea. But you can't live in there. I don't know what it is. So I'm just going to smush this into the soil like so. And I will top this soil with some wood chip. It has already been topped with mulch from the compost bin. I put mulch in here before I put the fertilizer in here. So it's not ready for any more mulch, but it could use a little more soil because the soil is a little bit low. But I don't want to put too much because I don't want to interfere with the tree. You don't want to overtake your tree with your soil. You don't want to mound it up. One of my girlfriends told me to not throw out the grubs, and I see a grub right there. So y'all have to excuse me. This one's gonna go night night. And this, if I could just get around it, the tree is poking me in the face. So we're gonna let this go night night, and we are going to let it feed. Hope y'all didn't see that, but we're gonna let it feed the container, just like so. All right, piece of plastic from somewhere. Okay, I know y'all are tired of me fussing around in this container, so let me start sowing some seeds. And I'm just doing this because it's important that if you do put fertilizer on the top and you see that it has just kind of clumped up, you want to break it up and get it in the soil. I'm going to move this irrigation back The irrigation will be turned on in I don't know, maybe a few weeks, maybe a month or two. I haven't decided. I'm going to put my gnome back in here right there. And let's get the seeds and let's start sowing some seeds, shall we? I don't have that many crimson clover seeds left. And as a matter of fact, I didn't get any of these last year. I've sowed seeds and I don't remember getting any. I did get the red clover, but not the crimson clover. Let me show y'all what the seeds look like. That's the seeds. Can you all see that? So I'm just going to take some in my hand and just broadcast. I'm not going to take a lot, but I will take a few. And I'm just going to broadcast them just freely, just like that on that side. Do the same thing over here on the other side. Just a few. And I'm just going to lightly broadcast just like so, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and just smush the soil like so, only because these are nice size seeds, kind of like brassica size, maybe a tiny bit bigger, and they will fall nicely in that soil. So I don't need to do a whole lot of covering up. And then I will come back and put some mulch on there because I can see some feeder roots for the tree and I don't want those to be exposed. So what I'll do is I will take that, put it right there, grab this little pot and set that pot right back on top of there and cover it up. All right, so now it's time to go put some seeds in another pot. And this is a banana leaf. So I'm just going to lay that banana leaf right on top like that. Let it rot down. This is the Barbados cherry pot. I'm going to place some crimson clover in here as well. I'm going to do the same thing. Just kind of mush up. These are leaves on top of here, as well as that fertilizer. So I'm just going to break it up so it's not sitting on the soil. And then move some of those leaves around. Those leaves will also be used as mulch. I'm going to have to cross over you all. Just like that. Just kind of work it in with your fingers like so. Just like that. Okay. And I'm doing the same thing. I'm just going to take a little bit of my fingers in my hand and just broadcast. So every other container, I am going to put this crimson clover, and then I'll go back, and every other container, I'll put the red clover. So I'm just going to sprinkle just a little bit like that, and over here like that. A tiny bit more. Just like that. And then just mush it to make sure that it has contact with the soil and that it's not just hanging out in the leaves. And once I do the liquid feed, they will fall down. So I'm not really concerned about it too much. Just like that. And I will also give it a little pat. Doesn't hurt to give it a little pat. I'll go back and pat the other container as well. That way you know it's got some contact. Now that I have the crimson clover already sown in a couple of pots, it's time to move on to the red clover. And I'm going to sow the red clover, not heavily because it will really take off and fill in. I noticed last year, maybe I might have overseeded, but I noticed last year that it took off, and I got a lot of beautiful red clover that filled in the container. And so I still have some onions to plant, so I don't want to take up all of my grow space, but I will be putting the beautiful clover in here because I want to use that clover to make herbal medicine. So I do need to plant a nice amount of it. So like the other pots, I'm just kind of taking that, I need to make some charcoal. I just saw a piece of charcoal in here. Makes me think I got to make charcoal. I made charcoal, see? I need to make some more. Now that I'm thinking about it. So this is the red clover that I got. I got this online many years ago, and it is still viable. It is a pelleted seed, and I'm okay with that. I'm not stressed over that. But again, I am going to sow this relatively heavily, not excessively heavy, but I am going to put a nice amount in here. I do plan on harvesting, like I said, as much as I possibly can. And I'm just going to take it and smush it over because these are not very big seeds. They do not need to be buried. Just a little covering is fine. Just like that. Let's move on to another container. This is the baby bay laurel. I'm just breaking up as I've done in multiple pots before. This is that Dr. Earth's, and I actually need to mix this in the soil. I can't just let this rest on top because once it gets wet, it turns like this. And that's not necessarily bad, but you want it to break down in the soil, not just clump up on top of the soil. Ooh, this soil is beautiful. It's nice and rich under here. It's moist. That might have to do with the fact that it rained a few days ago and this fertilizer just kind of sat on top like a mulch. And it does have wood chip on top. It is breaking down. I will need to put some more on here. And I know my baby bay looks a little sickly, but it was covered up. And so I will take those leaves off in a couple of days. If not later on today, I haven't done it. I'm not going to lie about it. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to sporadically just seed it so that it'll have beautiful greenery at the base of this plant or this tree and beautiful flowers. Now this is a tea bag that was supposed to break down and it does not. So be mindful of the type of tea bags you all use. They do not always compost down, and that did nothing. I'm going to toss that over there for right now. So I am just going to mush the soil, and I kind of sort of like it when you have a pelleted seed, only because you can actually see the seed if it's colored. That's the only reason. All right. And I probably should go get my clipper. I'll go get my clipper. I won't rough it up too bad. And I'll do that later. Take those off, and I'll just kind of spread them around in other pots. Okay. I'm always trying to multitask, you guys. This is the container that I put the pigeon peas in. I don't have any growth yet. I need to put a tag on it so that I can remember. So far, I remember quite well. I'm going to spread these around just like so, just like that. And then that is all I'm going to put in here. And then I'm just going to, same thing, just move it around so that I don't see the pink. And then when I water, they will fall all the way into the soil. And I'm trying not to mush it too hard. I don't want anything popping out of the container because I think one of them might have just popped down onto the ground. But if I see it growing, I'll take it out and transplant it in here. All right, so I want to say that's probably all I'm going to do over here. Let's plant something else. Moving on down the line, we are now at the toilet. And I am going to plant in here some African daisies, some Mexican sunflowers, and some summer sunshine mixed color cosmos. They're an orange and yellow, burnt orange, orange and yellow. The Mexican sunflower is a burnt orange, and the African daisy, of course, is a yellow. Now, this was a weed that I was letting rot down. I'll put that back on top in just a bit. This also has fertilizer that Dr. Earths. It has a dianthus here in the front. I am going to put some, I'm going to transplant some violas over in here. And I will also probably sow a couple of those viola seeds from the plant up front. I'm not quite sure what this is. I think this is a weed. I'm going to leave it for right now, but I believe that's a dianthus. I'm going to leave that. And I'm just trying to loosen the soil just a little bit. Just a little bit. This has a hugelkultur method in it, so I'm not trying to dig down deep. And I'm keeping my eye around on the ground because I don't want to run up on anything. Now, the Mexican sunflower gets really tall. So what I'm going to do with that one is I'm going to put that one in the center, have it grow all the way up. Now, I'm not sure how tall it will get in this container, but in the big containers over by the compost bin, it gets really tall. I do have a lot of saved seed, but they're in the garage, so I am going to use the packet. I should use my own saved seed because they're acclimated to the area, but I'm not. I'm just going to put just a couple of seeds right here in the center. I have 4 in my hand, maybe 5. And the only reason why I put a couple in here is to make sure that if one doesn't germinate, maybe one of the others will. All right, right there around the drip irrigation. And then back inside the packet so I don't lose anything. Now these cosmos are not going to grow very tall. They are pretty short, I do believe. Now when the dianthus grows, it will fill in. So I don't know if I'll see much of this. Yeah, this is not very tall. Y'all know I can't hardly see, so I can't tell you exactly, but let's see. I'm going to put some of these, and this is a long seed. It looks weird to me. I'm going to put them right over in here towards the back, and I'm going to take some of this soil and just cover it up like that, and then pat it down just like that. All right, now the African sunflower, I have not had any success growing it, but I do believe it looks kind of like a daisy. It has that daisy type effect, and I got to get these weeds up because they are doing way too much. I've had this seed for quite a while. I don't believe it's viable. Oh, it's flat. Look at that. Can y'all see that? So I'm going to place a few of them right here in these 2 side pockets. Right in here. In the hopes that I can get some daisies. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of that soil from the front and just cover it up like so. Pat it in. Same over here. This corner, take some soil, cover it up, pat it in. like so. And I will go and get some more wood chip and fill this in with wood chip because I don't want the soil to dry out. So let's find something else to pot up. Probably going to be the toilet. I'll put some, maybe, no, I'm not going to put Mexican sunflower over there because I put Mexican sunflower in one of the pots over there. So I'll probably go over there and put an actual sunflower. So let's go to the other toilet, shall we? I have made it over here to the opposite side toilet. And this is nice and beautiful. And I do have some little things growing down in here. I'm not quite sure what they are. So I'm not going to disturb them right yet. I'm going to let them grow a little bit more. And if they turn out to be weeds, I will take them out. But for right now, I am just going to just kind of break up this fertilizer on the soil like so. Just like so. And I am going to put some sunflowers right in this area right here. And I hope you all can see what I'm doing. I don't have a lot of space over here. I don't think a mammoth will grow well in here, but I'm going to try it out anyway. And the only reason why I'm going to do that is because putting things in the ground is hit or miss for me. I put stuff in the ground and it's growing well, and then I come back out and it's been eaten away. So I'm not doing it. Now these seeds are old. I don't know how viable they are. So I'm actually going to put a few. And if I get more, if they actually germinate and I get more than one, I'll take them out and I will put them someplace else. And maybe in the cut flower garden, because that would be beautiful. I would love that in the cut flower garden. So I am going to just make a hole right here. And I'm going to plop these, all of them, in the hole. And we'll see if anything comes up. Just like that. And that is the mammoth sunflower. Now this one will give me seeds that you can replant next year as well as eat. My cousin likes sunflowers. My mom likes sunflowers. So, and I like them too sometimes. So we're growing sunflowers. We're going to try. So let's find something else to sow somewhere else. So we've got a few more things to sow. Let's go find some places. This is the paper white, and I'm not quite sure what this is. I don't know if this is a flower or if this is a weed. I'm going to leave it in here for a little while longer and see what it turns into, because I am not certain. And I have 3 of them in here, so I'm going to leave it and we're going to see what's going on. So now what I'm going to do is I found some Little Princess white cosmos. I have some white clover. And I have, well, I'm not going to put the sweet peas over here. I'll put the sweet peas in another pot. So I'll put the cosmos and the white clover in here and see what it looks like. I'm not going to overdo. The paper whites are going to, if they give me a paper white right now, they're just giving me tops. I'm hoping they give me an actual flower. Breaking up that fertilizer, as I mentioned, the fertilizer, it needs to actually be worked into the soil because it sits on top of this soil and turns hard, and that is not what you want. So if you're using Dr. Earths and you've just did like I did and you were out spreading your fertilizer, you thought, oh, so I can just spread it and I'll come back and it'll just kind of work its way in. No, this one you have to actually break it up and work it into the soil because it will sit on top, and that's not what you want. Okay, so I'm not breaking all of it up because I do have stuff growing around and I don't want to disturb it because it is actually kind of working like a mulch as well. So that's a good thing. And I will be coming back and cutting back my moringas and allowing them to grow back because they'll grow back from the root. Now this white clover, I had it in the front yard in a container. I don't know if it's still up there or not. Let's see. I thought I had an open one. I don't want to open one if I don't have to. I'm trying not to have a bunch of seed packets open if I have multiple seed packs. I try to use the seed pack that's open. Yeah, this one has been open. And once it's done, I move to the next. Now this is a smaller seed, as you can see. That's why they pelletize this one, because it's just like the red one. They're very tiny, but they grow up nicely. They're really pretty. So I am going to put a pinch in here, in and around these paper whites. So when the paper whites die back, I will have this white clover. And I'll put some information in the description box below on clover, the benefits of clover. I have done that before, but if this is your first time watching me, seeing me, then you may not have seen that. I will put a playlist in. Please watch my playlist so that you don't miss any of the fun I'm having over here. And that way you can see, I try to put as much information in my description box as possible. That way if I'm talking about something and you're curious about it, you can look it up. But please do your research yourself. That's important. So the next one I'm going to put in here is this Little Princess White Cosmos. And I hope you all can see. I had to move you all back a little bit because this ground over here is a bit uneven. And you all were falling down. So I'm just going to mix the Cosmos. And this is a long seed, just like the other one. A little bit shorter than the one I had before. And again, I'm just going to, just same thing. Just put a couple here and there. Mix them in. Nothing special. And leave it at that. Now these do need to be buried a little because they are a nice long seed. Hoping I'm not doing too much disruption of the white clover, but we shall see. All right, let's do a little bit more. I've got one more seed to do and then I am done for the evening because it is after 6. It is going to be getting dark very soon. And I'll have to get up first thing in the morning and water everything because I'm not going to have time tonight. So let's go over to one more pot. This is my large clematis pot I was telling you all about in my previous video. I am going to put some white cosmos, white clover, and sweet pea in this container. It's a large container and I want to try to fill in any of the empty spots. So right around here, I'm just going to move some of this mulch back if I can. And the soil might be falling down a bit. I am going to put some cosmos right here. And I don't know if I showed you all that cosmos. This is the Little Princess Cosmos. I don't have a lot of these seeds. I only have a few left in the packet. So I'm just going to sprinkle just a couple right in there. And I'm just going to flick that soil over like that. Cover them up. Make sure they have some contact. I'm just going to move that mulch back. And then I'll go over right over there and put some over there. But for right now, I am going to place them back inside this packet because we're not going to go over there just yet. I am going to move this from the center, and I'm not going to do too much because I have a clematis right here. As you can see, it's popping up right in here. I hope you all can see that. I'm going to put some sweet pea right there in the middle, and hopefully it will grow up and twirl around and be happy and intermingle with the clematis. Now I'll have to be very careful with this sweet pea once it dies because the clematis vine is very delicate. So when I remove this sweet pea, I'll have to be very careful. Now you should soak your sweet pea seeds, but of course y'all see I didn't do that. I really should have, but I was thinking about this last minute. So I'm just going to put a few in there like that. 2 more. I want to see if I can really get some sweet peas. I'm just going to cover those back up like so. And then I will deeply water that to wake up those sweet pea seeds, because you really should soak them. See, I've got clematis coming up over there as well. Right there, got a little green. I'm just trying to be very careful. I don't want to mess around and hurt anything. I really, really love the look of this clematis. And it looks like one of my pieces broke. The wind has been so vigorous. So I'll see if I can propagate that little limb up there. You all can't see it. That's okay. Now, last but certainly not least, I am going to place some clover here as well. I'm going to put some clover right over here, right next to the water bottle, because I've got, remember, cosmos right here, sweet pea, and I'll put cosmos over there, and I'm going to put some clover right here, but I need to move a little bit of this mulch, and I probably need to put some soil to raise it up a little bit right here, but I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm going to get some seed. I hope you all can see what I'm doing. And these are very tiny seeds. So I am not going to cover them with that mulch. I'm just going to flick a little bit of soil and then press it. I'm not going to cover them with the mulch just yet, because those are some very tiny seeds. And if I cover them, they probably won't grow. As a matter of fact, I probably should have just left them on top of the soil. So let's do an experiment. I'm going to put just a few more on top of the soil and see if they're light germinated, because they are really very tiny. And then over here, I'm just going to slightly move this mulch back just a little bit. And I am going to put that clover right here. Just like that. Have a nice little drift of clover. And I'm just going to do like that. Not trying to cover. Let's see, what I want to do. I'm just trying to go around and make it look pretty. I'm going to put some cosmos over there. Let's see. We're going to put some cosmos. Where are we going to put some cosmos, y'all? We're going to put some cosmos right in here. So we're just going to shift this right there for just a second. Trying to be very gentle with this clematis vine. I do not want to tear it, break it, and dislodge it from its mother plant. And this is deep over here. I will have to take this out. Let's put this right here for right now. It's a lot of mulch over here. I think I was trying to cover up that clematis, the vine that's right here. So we're going to push that right up there to cover up that vine. All right, so now let's get some cosmos. And that'll be the end of the cosmos seeds, because it is empty. It's all I have left of this cosmos. So I'm hoping that if it does grow, that I can collect seed from it. Make sure I got all the seeds out. I hate when that happens, when you think you got all the seeds out and you don't. I'm just going to mix this up a little bit like this so that it can touch the soil. I hope you guys can see. Pat it down. And I am going to move just a little bit of that mulch back. Not a lot. Just like that. And that right there, friends and family, that is all I'm doing tonight. I need to go and sit down. So let's chat for a second. Before I call it an evening, I am going to put some sweet peas in this container. This container consists of, or contains, my white devil's trumpet. And as you can probably see, It is growing. It is coming back from, oh, spiderweb. It is coming back from dying back. And so I am just going to snap off, if I can without hurting anything, these top pieces for now. Get them out of my way because they're in the way. And then I can come back with my pruners at a later time and cut them all the way back even further. And this is a seed pod right there. I'm not going to mess with that just yet. I will in just a moment. Matter of fact, I've got a couple of seed pods in here. I've got 2 seed pods. I'm going to just rest them right there. And we're going to snap that off. All right. So I put this trellis in here last weekend, I think it was. I've been moving things around. So I am going to place this high scent sweet pea in here in the hopes that I get some sweet peas. Let's see. I would love to see sweet peas. I think I got 3 over there, and I'll put 3 over here, and a couple over here, and a couple over here. Let's see. This is gonna fill in around the base of here, and I'm hoping the sweet peas will grow up on the trellis. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back over and just kind of smush that soil and see about getting those sweet peas to fall down towards the soil. Get them covered up a little bit, like so. Just like so. And then I'm going to move that and move that. And we're going to do the same thing over here. Trying to cover those up so that they can have soil contact. I'm just going to push it down. Make sure they are touching the soil. Just like that. All right. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, once I get this little packet back in this little plastic pouch that I don't want to lose, I only have a few more left. I will need to buy more of these. So now I'm going to see about taking this. Hopefully it doesn't poke me because it's very pokey. And I'm going to just sow these seeds for the white devil trumpet all throughout here and see what germinates. The seeds for the seed pod is very, very pokey. Ooh, it's like having needles. Let me see if I can find a stick and break this one up. It does not like to be touched. It has like hypodermic needles on it. If you've ever seen a devil trumpet seed pod, it is an unpleasant little bugger. Let's see. What I'm trying to do is get those hypodermic needles off of there, and then also break it open in the meantime. Let's see. There we go. I'm trying to squish it open. There we go. So I've opened it up. I'm just trying to get those seeds in my hand, and I'm just going to dump them around like so. I did not, I don't think I sowed seeds like this for this one last year. I might have, but this is what I try to do with my angel trumpet. I just open up a couple of seed pods and just let them fall where they may, and just do this. They come up when they want. The ones in the front, they just come up when they want, and that's it. That's all I'm doing. Let's go chat. Let's do a recap. All right, we're gonna recap. Whew, me. Let me move y'all closer. Y'all seem really far away. How about that? That's a little bit closer. So, recap. It's been a long day, everybody. I am tired. I want to say I woke up in the 3 o'clock hour. My clock goes off at 4:15, and it is 6:32. So I'm spent. I'm going to recap this and then I'm going to go inside and get myself ready for a nice, wonderful Friday evening. So I put in the garden in the white area this little Princess Cosmos. I hope I get that. It's container friendly, so we'll see. And I'm all out. I have no more of these. So if I see some of these in my travels, I may or may not look for these. I'm leaning towards may not because I'm trying not to purchase a lot of stuff right now. I'm looking towards just the necessities right now. And then I put in the garden in the white area the white Dutch clover. In 2 containers over there, I have the white Dutch clover. I also put in the white area, let's see if I have it in my pocket. I think I have it in my pocket. I do. I put in the high scented or high scent sweet pea. And if in my travels I see any of these, I would love to get one more pack of these. I don't have a lot, but I may not. I'm hoping that I get some. Sweet peas are hit and miss because they don't like the heat. And next week is my last frost date. So these actually should have been planted already. So we'll see. They may not come to anything, but fingers crossed for me that I get some sweet peas. Because if I do, I would love to have my own seed and not buy these. So we hope that's what's going to happen. I put in the orchard area the red clover. I put in the orchard area as well as the tire garden. I put in the crimson clover. And I've had this seed a long time. Almost done. It was a really big packet. What else did I put in the garden, everybody? Oh, in the toilets. And I still have more flowers down here that I have done nothing with, but it's getting dark. You all probably can't tell. But it's sorry about the noise. One of my neighbors is doing something. It's getting dark, and so I'm not going to be able to sow anything else tonight. But in the toilet over in the right-hand side of the garden by the compost, I put the Mexican sunflower. And I don't know what else I put over there, you all. Oh, I know, I did. I put the mammoth sunflower. I put a couple of those. I didn't take y'all with me, but I also put a couple of these in the cut flower garden near my trash cans because my grandmother, one of my grandmothers used to always have large mammoth sunflowers growing by her trash cans. And so I thought about it and I put some over there. So I'm hoping that these come up. This is a really old seed. It says 2017, so I don't know if these are viable. They probably aren't. I did get this packet. Oh, this one's old as well. It says 18. This one is the Lemon Queen. I didn't sow this one. I may find a space maybe tomorrow and put some Lemon Queen in. I don't know. We'll see. I also put in the garden this Summer Sunshine Mixed Colors Cosmos. Looks like that. And last but not least, I do believe I put some African daisies. Where did I put African daisies, y'all? I think I put African daisies over in the toilet over in the left-hand side of the garden. And it's the giant mixed color African daisies. And that's all I put in the garden tonight. I do have a number of different seeds down here that I would like to put in both the memorial garden and the cut flower garden. I have some helichrysum that I did not get in. Hope I'm saying that right. Helichrysum. I have some Canterbury bells. I think I want to put that in the hanging basket. I do have the Burpee Galaxy mixed color sweet pea. I want to put that in the hanging basket as well. Maybe in the morning I'll have enough energy because I'm tired. I'm tired right now, y'all. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I have a really old packet of 4 o'clocks. This was one of my grandmother's favorites. If you know anything about 4 o'clocks, it will drop a lot of seeds, so you have to be careful and harvest your seed regularly. Uh, so we'll see. This one might go in a container in the memorial garden. I still need to put my calendula. I have some little pots right around the cattle panel. I think I'm gonna put some calendula in those pots and just have those little 8-inch pots and the little buckets. Have some calendula and some herbs because it's an herb around there as well. I have some gomphrena, the I think it's QIS Fiery Sunshine Blend. That's probably going to go in a container in the cut flower garden. I have some Crispidia, I could be saying that all wrong, drumstick flower, also in the cut flower garden. And I'm probably going to put this over in the memorial garden. This is a single sensation mixed color cosmos, white with like red and pinks. That's probably going to go in the cut flower garden. I have an English daisy red pomponette, and it's a perennial. I really want to try to get that. I've never been able to successfully get that. It's probably upside down. So that's probably going to go in a container in the memorial garden and the cut flower garden. And I have a seashell blend cosmos. Don't know where this might go in the back where the compost bins are. I've got some flower pots back there. This one might go in the pot with the hibiscus or the Rose of Sharon. Not sure. Some of these other ones might go back there as well. And I have some straw flower. I know I do want this straw flower in the cut flower garden. It's a Swiss giant blend, but if I have enough, I may also put some of this in the back garden by the compost bin because I've got really huge containers back there. I don't know if these will be burnt orange, yellow, white, or pink, or purple, or fuchsia, or red. I don't know. It says blend. So, don't know. So that, my friends and family, is all I have. These are the ones that I'm going to get in the garden tomorrow. I may or may not take you all along with me. I might. We shall see. It seems like you all like content where we're sowing things. So I may take you all with me in the morning. I really have to do a liquid feed in the morning as well. So I want to say thank you all for joining me in the garden this evening. I hope you enjoyed my ramblings and me sowing some flower seeds. I'm really trying to get some flowers in the garden, more flowers in the garden this spring. I still have a couple of pots here, there, and everywhere that I will put some flowers in. I've got a few pots on the porch. I want to put some flowers in there as well. Now that I'm looking at them, I've got about 6 on the porch that I want to put some flowers in. And my viola's over there in the corner by the umbrella is not going to last all spring and summer. So what I'll probably do is put some calendula in that pot again, like I had in last year. So that's it for me, everybody. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Um, if you have not subscribed to the channel, think about subscribing to the channel. And I hope to see you real soon in the garden because I'm not going to be in the garage grow space and I'm not sure if I'll be in the kitchen. I do have some canning projects to do. I've got a cabinet full of jars right now. I'll play that by ear on whether or not you all want to see that, but it's almost spring, and a lot of times during the spring, y'all don't want to watch canning videos. So you let me know, and I may go ahead on and show you. So again, thank you very, very much, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye for now.